Howdy, folks, and welcome to another Too Long for Twitter here on Tisbury 33 Games. I'm Cody Shalafu. Today we're going to talk about the trade deadline in the NBA, and more specifically a topic of who to and who not to sell if you're a contender. So this kind of question popped up into my head with the Celtics when Terry Rozier was on the team. And Terry Rozier was going into the end of his contract. And it was clear Terry was going to get a lot more money than we were going to offer him or able to give him at the time. And that was the team that was looking to contend. A lot of people said trade him at the trade deadline so you get something for him, keep him. How was Terry Rozier valuable for the Celtics at that time? We kind of find ourselves in the same position with Grant Williams. And basically my stance is if you're a contending team, I think you should keep Grant Williams, just like I thought you should have kept Terry Rozier. That actually ended up kind of hurting. We'll get into that a little bit later. When to sell, who to sell, and why you sell them. And this is a very nuanced question. That's why we're here. It will be too long to discuss on Twitter. Hence the why this series is the series. So, at the time of this recording, this is February 7th, around 6:30. Grant Williams, still a member of the Boston Celtics, though his name has been swirling in trade rumors. He's looking to get $18 to $20 million in the free agent market, something that probably the Celtics shouldn't give him due to kind of a declining year, at least the last couple of months. The last month or two hasn't been great for Grant. Grant's been a fun player, someone that was an unconventional pick in terms of a lot of like the draft people on Twitter I follow really liked him, even though he was rumored to go right about where he went in the 20s of the NBA draft. The year that we got Grant Williams on the Celtics. But he turned out to be one of those good pieces that are a good rookie year, not so good sophomore year, a really good year last year, which really helped us get to the NBA Finals. Well, what do you do with Grant? Do you trade him and get something for him? Or do you hold on to him and potentially get nothing for him? And I think that a lot of people are always hesitant to keep on to something and not get anything in return. But what if that return is an NBA champion? And that's where my logic kind of sticks. Is Grant a valuable piece to this championship? Yeah. And I don't think you move him unless you get another piece. I don't think you move Grant Williams for picks. And I don't think he'll be worth a lot of picks. I think he's a really good glue guy, a bench guy on a really good team like he is right now. And he could be a starter on a few teams in this league. He's a weird PJ Tucker type, 6'6", 6'5", really bulky, can man up and bulk up and move around the perimeter enough to guard there, but also not get bullied in the paint. He's an awkward player, but a fun player when you have the pieces around him. He can be a really good glue guy. And 18 to 20 million, probably fair. Maybe a little too rich, maybe the 14 to 16 million range, a little more doable, a little more easier on the palate, and probably way more where he's really at. But with the NBA's prices for these contracts, plus the league is a one NBA contract or TV contract away from making Grant Williams $18 million kind of be a stranglehold on some teams to $18 billion being the new rookie deal. I mean, that's how much the money is expanding that league. So the real question is, do you trade him or do you keep him? I think that where the Celtics are at right now, he fits in. He does, if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, he's a fantastic addition to this team. And I don't think you trade him off unless you get a piece in return. Now look at Terry Rozier. He was just coming off that playoff series. Kyrie wasn't there and he was doing his thing. You then, kind of want the ball a lot. We haven't seen Grant disrupt the team like probably Terry Rozier. And for my money, with that bad Celtics year, shout out Diana Ross, by the way. And I think, let the queen know that we support Diana Ross around here. But anyway, I think when that team, that was the turmoil team. That was the locker room issues. That was the team that I didn't think they got out of the first round that year. I think that was Milwaukee. That was the Kyrie Irving shot 12 for 800 that series. I think Terry Rozier was a lot of that toxicity I think it's easy to blame on Kyrie Irving. I think Terry Rozier wasn't helping, at least. During that off season, right before the season started, there was a conversation. I remember it. Do you keep Terry Rozier or do you send him on his way? I thought you keep Terry, and this is knowing that you're going to get rid of him at the season's end. I don't think you always need a return. If you look at the TPE era and the sign and trade era, and this is not a new thing, but it's relatively new for it to be this common. I don't think anyone knew what a TPE was until Gordon Hayward got traded. Celtics got the largest one. They were definitely out there, but it wasn't commonplace. Now every team has 2 or 3, and everyone knows what a TPE is. Sign and trades, while they were, I wouldn't say outlandishly uncommon, they definitely Celtics benefited from Gordon Hayward and Kemba Walker. That was a sign and trade. Kyrie Irving, I believe, was a sign and trade as well. I think that sounded like 3-team deals, and Gordon Hayward was a separate issue. We've seen this stuff happen, and this can very well help with Grant. Grant Williams goes free agency. Some team really likes him. You can get a sign and trade. So basically, at the end of the day, my stance is on this: keep your guy, go for it. If you don't get anything in return, oh well. Best thing you get in return is a championship, and I think he can help this team win a championship. Unless you get a incredible piece back, I don't think you move on from him. I think he could be a piece in a deal that gets you something good in return and add a Peyton Pritchard or whatever. But that's it. That's really my thoughts on the whole ordeal. We'll definitely be talking about NBA after the NBA trade deadline is passed. I'll give my thoughts on all the big deals at least. We'll get into my Kyrie Irving thoughts there. But a short video, and this is what these are supposed to be. They're not supposed to be super long, ranty videos. But basically, what's your stance on it? Do you trade Grant Williams for a player in Grant Williams' situation, a pending team that you might not sign this player after it's all said and done, but he's helpful for you as a bench role, maybe spot starter? Would you trade a player like that if your team is contending for a championship? If your team is a Celtics, you trade Grant Williams. Does my logic make sense? Do you think I'm an idiot, which I think most people would agree with? But anyway, go in the comments. Let me know what you think down below. Like, subscribe, share around, check the broadcasting channel, check all the other videos on this channel. Playlist for some other topics that you might have missed. I did a couple Red Sox topics before this. So thank you for everyone for tuning in, listening, and we'll see you soon here on His Very 33 Games. I'm Cody Shalfu. Wonderful rest of your day.